Welcome to another episode of the Via Stoica podcast. These are the Stoic Quotes editions. In today's episode, we're going to look at a quote from Epictetus. But remember, if you're looking for more quotes, you can always go to viastoica.com, where we have hundreds of quotes by Epictetus alone, but also Marcus Aurelius, Seneca. We've got some other quotes out there as well. So please go check them out. And if you are looking for some support and things that you need some help with somewhere, you can book a free consultation with one of our coaches and reach out to us, and we can have a chat with you and see what we can do. And if you are looking at this on YouTube or listening to it on a podcast player, please like and subscribe. And if you do have some questions or some comments about this quote or what I'm saying, what my thoughts on this are, please do let us know in the comments, and then we can get back to you there, or maybe even get it into a bigger episode on the Tuesdays, which we have two episodes, this one on Friday and another one released on Tuesday, which are the interviews and the longer episodes. But today we're going to look at a quote from Epictetus. It's from the Discourses. I have this version. If you can see, it's a little bit worn already. But I love it. It's the Everyman edition. There's other editions out there as well. And we're going to go to book 3, and then we have Discourse 9. And Discourse 9, the title of it is A Rhetorician Who Was Going to Rome on a Lawsuit. And the very last sentence of this discourse is as follows. You too should drop your desire. Do not covet many things, and you will get what you want. That's an impactful one, and this is really directly to the discipline of desire. And you can open the Discourses, the handbook, and this is something that will come back a lot, right? The desires and aversions. That's so crucial and key in Stoic philosophy. If you want to live the good life, then you've got to have your desires and wants in check, and you've got to know what you should desire and what you should want, and that's basically one thing: is virtue. Right? If you desire to make the right moral choice, right? If you desire to live virtuous, then you can experience the good emotions, the eupatheia, something like wish or caution or joy, right? And that's what we're really looking after. And if you covet the wrong desires, then you will fall into the other emotions, the passions, right? The bad emotions, if you will. And you will have fear, you will have grief, you will have anger, all of those things. Why? Because we are desiring something that is beyond our control. We are desiring the externals, and that's something that is happening to us a lot of the times when we want to go and achieve, when we strive for something that is not beyond us, or when we wish to avoid something that we can't. For example, illness. We are human beings. We have a body that can fall ill, and that can happen. So it's not that we should, wish that we want to be, ill, but it can happen. We should wish that we can still be virtuous, that we can still be a good person even when we are ill. That's what the Stoics want us to desire. I wish that I could still be a good person there. Why? Because that is up to me. I can decide how to act. I can decide okay, this is my situation right now. I can still do the right thing. But before we dive a little bit deeper, and before I read few parts of the earlier text, there are some other translations out there, and I kind of wanted to look into them as well. So one of them goes, the same goes for you too. Let your desires go. If you don't want many things, you'll get what you want. And there's another one. And do you too drop your desires? Do not demand much, and you will attain. Again, and there's people like, yeah, but I should be able to want what I want, right? I should be able to do the things that I really want to do, and I should be able to strive for my goals, and I should have goals in life. And yes, you should follow your nature, right? You should follow the things that you were designed to do, where your skill set is needed. And that is the part of Stoic philosophy where it says to follow your nature. And that means that we have to be in tune of what we are. We need to know what our strengths or weaknesses are, and then we have to do our duties to society, right? And we have to do what we're responsible for. Look at all the roles, all the parts that we play in life, and do them well, and do them to the best of our capabilities, right? That's part of it as well. But we shouldn't be upset if we don't reach those goals. Again, Stoicism is all about being in the moment and about making progress, about being in that journey. And it's about doing our best. And that's really what we should be aiming for. Yes, we want to work towards something. If we are in a family, then we want to do the best there. We want to raise the best family. If we have a job, we want to do the best at our job. We want to reach certain goals as well. But that is not the end goal. The end goal is doing them in the right way. How do we get there? That is the real key of all of this. And that is up to us. So make sure that when we want things, that we aim them at the right way. And what is that aim? That is internal, right? That is how we perform them. And there is one more sentence that I wanted to read, just a few sentences before this quote. And it goes like this. If I can find it, so there's a little bit that I wanted to read before. Here we go. To you, all you have appears little. To me, all I have appears great. Your desire is unsatiable. Mine has been satisfied. So again, this is part of it, right? If we desire all these externals, then how can we ever be there? How can we ever be satisfied with what we have? Because there's always something new. There's always something next. But Epictetus, he's telling his students, he's like, I'm satisfied with what I'm doing right now. Why? Because I'm focused on the moment. I'm looking at what's happening. I'm evaluating. I'm using my reason and my logic and asking, what should I be doing right now? What is the moral choice here? And if I do that, that's all I ever want, because that's going to give me the good life. And then the next moment again, and yes, we sometimes fail, right? Yes, sometimes we make the wrong mistake. But if we try to at least assess the situation and see what's really happening, what's out there, what's truth and what's false, and maybe even more withhold our judgments on things, not have an opinion, not go too fast on acting on things. Maybe we take a step back, then we can make those decisions better and more careful and more reasoned. And then we can move forward. And then, yes, maybe we'll reach our goals. Maybe we won't. Maybe things that happen that we didn't wish would happen, but we can still be the good person. And that's really what Stoicism is all about. Whatever is happening, we can still be the good person for ourselves, but also for the people around us. And sometimes it means that we should do things that go against what we personally desire as our externals, because it's better for the whole, right? Because it's better for the world around, for the community, for society. And that's what we've also got to keep in mind. Again, it's an impactful quote. I'll read it one more time before we end this episode. You too should drop your desires. Do not covet many things, and you will get what you want. So make sure that you focus on the right thing when you look at what you want. When you check your desires, when you check your aversions, the things that you wish to avoid. Make sure that what do you want to avoid? To not be virtuous, right? I don't want to be virtuous. That's what I want to avoid, and that's up to me. I can use my moral choice. I can assent to what is right? And then we go through all of that Stoic flow of like, what do I do? We have an impression. I check my impression. What is happening here? I take a pause, right? And then I either assent or I reject it. And from that, I make a moral choice. And then we continue, right? And that's really what we want to focus on. So again, thank you for being here. Look at what you desire. And if you are struggling with this, if you want too many externals and they cause you frustration and they upset you, hey, reach out to us. Book a free consultation with us on viastoica.com, and we can talk to you about it. We can see if we can build a plan together to make sure that your desires are in check. And it might not go from one day to the next, but we can get there, right? We can make sure that those desires are focused on what they need to be focused on. So again, thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. If you're watching this, leave a comment to see, how do you deal with desires? How do you deal with these impressions? If you have questions about this, please leave them as well, so we can deal with them. We can tackle them. We can look at them later on as well. So again, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next one.